Welcome to Kansas City, Missouri, Kemper Arena, second game of the day. Matching Eastern Washington, the 15th seed in the East Rutherford bracket against the number 2 seed, Oklahoma State Cowboys, and a sellout at Kemper. Eastern Washington is coached by Ray Giacoletti, the Big Sky Coach of the Year. And let's check out his lineup. He'll go with a freshman, Matt Nelson, along with Mark Axton, Alvin Snow, Brendan Merritt, and Danny Pariseau. Oklahoma State, coached by Eddie Sutton, still going mighty strong at the age of 68. And he'll go with McFarland and Graham, the 2 forwards, and 3 guards Sutton likes to go with: John Lucas, Daniel Bobick, and Tony Allen. And Bob Wenzel, let's take a look at that East Rutherford bracket.
Well, so far Memphis has advanced in Kansas City. Oklahoma State, the 2 seed against Eastern Washington. And the upper part of the bracket, Wisconsin, Richmond, Pittsburgh, and Central Florida later tonight.
There's Eddie Sutton, 14th year with the Cowboys. And still the passion burns at the age of 68. This game is being brought to you by the Harrison Corporation, proud sponsor of HDTV, the world leader in broadcast systems for high-definition television.
Well, you talked about Eddie Sutton being 68 and having great energy. Watching them practice yesterday, it was a very odd thing, very silent and very efficient.
Quickly, Oklahoma State forces the turnover. Bobick, the transfer from BYU. And a whistle.
Well, Oklahoma State 27-3, a spectacular year.
Ray Giacoletti, 17-12, as I mentioned, Big Sky Coach of the Year, 4th year in Cheney, Washington. Little floater finds its way down for Oklahoma State. Lucas, who averages 15.4 a game, quickly on the board.
As the underdog, we're going to see a lot of backdoor plays by Eastern Washington. A Princeton-esque type of offense employed by Ray Giacoletti. And they must control the pace at the offensive end. First team All Big Sky Conference performer, Axton, and the player of the year, Snow, with the basketball right there.
Bob, very interesting to see how both these schools handle, how about their mental health, because Oklahoma State disappointed about overlooked for the number 1 seed. And this is the first trip to the big show for March Madness for Eastern Washington.
Ever in the history of the school, not only for these players. And that is a very nervous energy type thing, especially early in the game. Both teams patient. One of the calling cards of Oklahoma State, quality shots. And they've got 2 already.
Allen with the bounce. Tony Allen, the senior from Chicago. He's the Big 12 Player of the Year, according to the coaches. And Lucas is the Big 12 Player of the Year, according to the media.
Now, who do you trust? They're both pretty darn good, aren't they?
Axton way off the mark. I would think nerves are flying high for Eastern Washington. Though they had a nice shoot around yesterday. Everyone got an hour on the Kemper Arena floor. Turn in, Allen, and a whistle.
Well, Oklahoma State got here 27-3 record. They were picked to finish 5th in the Big 12 before the season began. They finished 1st, and they also won their first conference tournament in the Big 12. And they are transfer university. 5 players on this team from other Division I schools, 3 of them starting. Joey Graham, John Lucas, and Daniel Bobick. Very, very unusual.
Allen makes the first. The foul was whistled on Alvin Snow. And Bob, go into that, because a lot of people would think, boy, jealousy, there are different agendas for players who transfer in, but somehow, some way, Eddie Sutton has molded. They all play as one.
They really do. A beautiful team. You would think they've been playing together forever, how efficient they are at both ends of the floor. But I think a lot of times with transfers, it's their last stop, very focused and motivated.
Still nothing falling for Eastern Washington. Cowboys run. Turned it over, however. McFarland drops back defensively for the Cowboys. Snow gives it up. And a tough bucket underneath. This guy will play all day at that pace. Brendan Merritt.
What a beautiful pass right there by Snow. Great organization by Eastern Washington in the break. We haven't seen them hold the ball too much early in this game. I anticipate that they will. I think it's their best shot to stay in the game with Oklahoma State.
Joey Graham, McFarland. Good patience by the Cowboys. Lucas runs the point. Bobick backs it out, the former BYU Cougar. Now on the dribble, the drive, baseline lost the handle. Merritt picks it up, Eastern Washington. The Eagles want to run, 3-on-3. Drives, hangs off the window. Lucas climbs the ladder for the Cowboys. The little guy motors across midcourt. Bodies hit, bucket falls.
Nice control right there by Lucas. Caruso tried to take the charge, not able to do so. Now let's watch him in the half court. Usually a man at the high post. The basket area will be clear for cutters and drivers.
Snow drives, got caught up in the lane, tough shot. And the rebound goes to McFarland.
That's an offensive on Graham, Craig. Eastern Washington in their first time going to the big dance. They played a very tough non-conference schedule, as Ray Giacoletti likes to do. They were great in their league, winning 13 of their last 15. And as you mentioned, first ever trip to the NCAA tournament for the Eagles.
You know, they played the likes of Oklahoma, lost by 10 on the road. They played Gonzaga.
And they played Washington. I think the score was in the hundreds in that particular game. And Washington in the tournament as well.
Nelson rebounds, still blocked away. Third try, got it.
Great stick-to-itiveness by that young guy.
Matt Nelson, the freshman, shoots 57% from the floor.
Great start for Eastern Washington so far. Hanging tough.
Bobick from the corner. A little long. Rebound goes out to Merritt. Now quickly pushing the ball. Caruso on the wing. Slows the tempo with 15:59 left in a very quick-paced opening half. Nelson from the corner. Three ball. No, they give him two. On the foot on the line for Axton.
Second leading scorer on this team behind Snow. Axton averages 13.
Turn it over. Little bounce in the step. And Bob, you're right. Good start. Eastern Washington. First time to the big dance. Hanging tough with the 2 seed. Cowboys by 2. Oklahoma State, Eastern Washington. Eddie Sutton, transfer U. 14 years, 17 different transfers. 5 on this year's squad. I still am amazed how he keeps it together.
It's amazing, and 3 of them are starting and are spectacular players. Of course, John Lucas here after the Baylor scandal erupted. He could transfer and play right away. The others had to sit out a year as Division I transfers. The Princeton offense right here, look for some backdoor cuts.
Loose ball, Cowboys have it. Here comes Lucas, who likes to push it quickly, moves it up court. Weatherspoon is in for the Cowboys. Oh, nice turnaround with the left hand. McFarland missed it, goes up again and got it.
That is where the difference in athleticism will show its head the most. Offensive board work by the Cowboys.
McFarland out of Missouri City, Texas, the senior, averaging 12 points a game. He's got his first 2. Axton from long range. Snow, the rebound off the miss. Throws it on the floor, kicks back out. Axton again for 3.
Well, you like that shot by Axton. Obviously confident. Here's the push by the Cowboys.
Weatherspoon from Bobick. Good spin. Backed it in.
They are a high-scoring team, averaging nearly 80 points a game against the strong Big 12 competition.
Cowboys shoot 51% as a team from the floor. And they're off to a 12-6 start with 14:10 left. Caruso on the drive. Goes down the lane, left hand. Tough shot, wouldn't go. Last touched by Oklahoma State. Substitutions roll in. We talked about substitution or transfer you. And again, Eddie Sutton somehow, some way finds those players. Bobbick, Miller, Lucas, Graham, and another Graham, twins from Central Florida.
Yeah, now that is a good geography lesson right there. I love those maps. Speaking of maps, we are in Kansas City, and this is the East Rutherford, New Jersey bracket.
Allen brings it up for the Cowboys. Weatherspoon short on the jumper. Merritt chases it down, gives it off. Eastern Washington backs it off, slowing the tempo. Bernard in the game for Ray Giacoletti. Now Lucas the other way for the Cowboys.
Lucas has such vision, keeps his head up at all times, know where everyone is.
Oh, look at that. Turnaround baseline, couple of hops, wouldn't fall.
Of course, Lucas is the son of John Lucas, the star of Maryland, and a great basketball and professional tennis player as well in his day.
Yeah, the young man on the floor is John Lucas III.
There you go. Also a good tennis player.
Yes. Carousel had a good look, bounced it hard off the glass. Cowboys push. Allen. Weatherspoon. Floater, no. Boy, two good looks on both ends of the court. Carousel breaks free for Eastern Washington. 2-on-2, Smith.
Axton 0 for 3 from three-point range. He did not even look that time. I'm surprised Eastern Washington playing as fast as this. This is greatly favors the Oklahoma State Cowboys, who are more athletic and deeper.
Carousel got caught up. Last touch by the Cowboys. 8 on the shot clock. Substitutions. Eastern Washington will bring in Budarak, number 34. And now they're going to call timeout. Timeout, 12:35 left in this opening half. Kansas City, game 2 of the day. Oklahoma State by 6.
Gumbel in New York, along with Clark Kellogg and Seth Davis. We'll get you back to Kansas City after we check out the other Eastern Washington and Oklahoma State. Craig Bolerjack and Bob Winslow.
Kansas City, Kemper Arena. Good start. Oklahoma State, Eastern Washington, the 2 against the 15. Cowboys with a 2-point lead. Eastern Washington playing in their first NCAA postseason tournament. Boy, it's been tough luck, mind you, because they have lost the last 3 conference tournament championships in the Big Sky. Finally broke through this year with a win over Northern Arizona. And here they are in Kansas City.
And doing quite well, I might add. Handling the pressure of being in the big time very, very well.
There is a timeout. Oklahoma State by 4, and we'll be back. Cowboys lead the Eagles by 4. Let's check in with a third member of our broadcast crew. Courtside, here's Scott Kaplan.
Craig, thanks. You know, John Lucas is not only an outstanding basketball player, but when he was in high school, he was actually ranked in the top 20 in junior tennis. He played a championship match in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and he played against Andy Roddick, and he did steal a set from Andy Roddick, but lost that match and knew his tennis career was coming to an end. Tony Allen had to ask the other day, who's Andy Roddick?
Tony Allen obviously doesn't follow tennis. He's concentrating on the books and basketball.
Greg Smith providing a big punch in the paint for Eastern Washington. 3 buckets, 6 points. And the Cowboys lead down to 2. Just under 11 minutes remaining. Little lob down low, knocked away. Boys playing both ends. Smith coming up big defensively.
I think Oklahoma State is making a very rash mistake trying to score too soon in the shot clock. If they don't have the break, they're being very impatient.
Lucas, the speed, foul from behind. The bucket falls off the rim, but he'll go to the free throw line. Boy, John Lucas, just like Papa.
I'll tell you
with
what,
some speed.
When I was coaching at Duke, John Lucas was playing at Maryland, and believe me, Papa was a great, great player. All-American, there he is. Has been around the basketball world for a long, long time. From Durham, North Carolina. They have another college there called Duke.
Yeah.
He didn't go there. John Lucas Sr.'s parents, both principals in the school system there in Durham.
3-time All-American.
I'll tell you what, he shot a stab too. Lefty player, shot a stab, didn't even shoot a jump shot from the outside, but great vision, great knowledge, very, very smart player. #1 pick in the NBA draft.
Well, there's father, now son. 6 points, makes both free throws. Leads Oklahoma State. John Lucas with 6, and Greg Smith with 6 for Eastern Washington. Merritt breaks free for an easy deuce.
Can you say Princeton offense?
Wow. Well, we saw Air Force run many teams to death on that type of play.
And they had a very solid game against the Tar Heels last night. And right here, Eastern Washington really hanging tough and playing very, very well. Oklahoma State rushing things on offense. Eastern Washington taking advantage.
McFarland lost the handle. Merritt gives off to Snow. Fires up to 3. Too strong. Last touched by Eastern Washington. Cowboys will have it with 9:28 left before half. Eagles will substitute. Matt Nelson will come in. Smith and Budarak go out.
Little full court pressure by Eastern Washington right here as well. Ray Giacoletti doing a good job of substituting frequently early in this game. A lot of times in this kind of a situation, your players get tired early. They need a little blow and then right back in.
Lucas wide open 3, took advantage. 9 for Lucas.
That's their best half-court possession. Normally they get a lot of good, clean shots. Not so in this game so far. Well, right here, people are getting after one another. An attempted charge by Brendan Merritt. He hits the deck, and because he hit the deck, Lucas got open, and he made him pay. A 3.
Brendan Merritt, we watched him on tape in that Big Sky championship game. He is, I tell you, pound for pound, one tough player.
Born with a cleft palate. 20 surgeries in his lifetime.
Amazing. With the conclusion of today's game, we will select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game from each team. Chevy will make a contribution to each school's General Scholarship Fund, a tradition for 30 years. Speaking of Merritt, though, the surgeries, tough attitude, something to prove every time he steps on the floor. Graham, the turnaround, got the bounce.
Bernard tried to take the charge. That's right. Bernard tried to take the charge. Could not do it in that situation. That is where Oklahoma State will win the game if they pound the ball inside.
Well, the Graham brothers are on the court. 21 and 14.
Joey, the player, the MVP of the Big 12 tournament this season.
Nelson, big shot with the left hand. Where did that come from?
My goodness. He is the #1 field goal percentage shooter in his league, and he showed why there. Great use of the left.
57%. Big Sky Freshman of the Year, and that move shows you why. There's a steal. Axton, Merritt takes it up. Fouled as he went to the basket. Joey Graham, number 14 for Oklahoma State.
Well, Matt Nelson is a freshman, pressed into service. He is not double teamed. Uses the left hand spectacularly for a right-handed player. He's the freshman of the year in the Big Sky Conference. And this guy, Merritt, had 22 in the championship game and did a spectacular job of shooting from the perimeter.
Left-hander, terrific free throw shooter at 81%. He'll get a second. 5 points for Merritt. Two bounces, it's away and in. 6 for Merritt. And Eastern Washington hanging mighty tough with the 2 seed. Oklahoma State. We'll be back. Oklahoma State by 3 over Eastern Washington. Lucas with 9, Merritt with 6. Leading scorers for both clubs, Craig Bolerjack, Bob Wenzel. Back here in Kansas City, Bob, a 2 and a 15. How is Eastern Washington staying close by 3?
Well, I think Oklahoma State's making a mistake by shooting too soon. They haven't shown any patience on offense. I think they thought they would overwhelm Eastern Washington. But you got to give the Eagles a lot of credit. They're playing great. They're handling the ball well. They're getting their backdoor plays. And they're very, very aggressive on defense. Change of defense right here after the timeout.
Oklahoma State also with that defensive strategy by the Eagles. 8 turnovers with 7.5 to go before the half.
Well, that is very unlike Oklahoma State. Normally take care of the basketball well and find quality shots. Have not been able to do it early in the shot clock in this game. No fear in the Eagles at all.
Absolutely. They have not backed down to the 2 seed. Lucas, 3 ball, short. Rebound, fresh clock. Graham fires. Short. Tip wouldn't go. Got it. And free throw coming.
Good movement on the perimeter. Good aggressiveness on the boards, and that's what Oklahoma State needs to do to take hold of this game. McFarland excellent around the basket. You can see his field goal percentage numbers very high, 57%, because most of his shots are within 4 or 5 feet of the hoop.
Matt Nelson picked up the foul, his first. No 3-point opportunity there for McFarland. Pariseau pushing the tempo, high floater. Rolled off the iron. Lucas quickly back down court. Drives, hangs it, wouldn't go. Rebound, Eastern Washington. Boy, the tempo continues.
Oh, I'm telling you, look at this. Fast break basketball. Find the open man. Nelson at the end of that one.
3 buckets, 6 points for the freshman from Issaquah, Washington. He's playing high school hoop this time last year, putting down 20 and 11.
Talk about quickness with Lucas. Pariseau's got some speed also. Very solid defense. I'm sorry, Craig, on the part of Eastern Washington. A lot of red shirts around the ball at all times.
Well, look at the hustle. They're dusting the floor. Eagles will have it, but hard fall that time by Nelson, and he's still down.
Well, Nelson dives after it and looked like he hyperextended his left shoulder a little bit when he went down. He has led this team in rebounding 10 times this season. Early in the year, Ray Giacoletti said we have to throw this guy to the Wolves because we don't have any other center. Well, he's been chomping down on the Wolves, I'll tell you that. He's done a fabulous job for a freshman.
He's up, still holding that left shoulder, which Bob was fully extended as he reached down to try to retrieve the basketball.
Yep.
He'll go out, and back in comes Greg Smith, who had big minutes.
Yeah, Smith is 3 for 3 so far in this game, and is not a guy who plays extensive minutes throughout the year, but did a good job also when he got into the championship game against Northern Arizona. Pretty good size, 6'10", about 260.
Remember, the Oklahoma State Cowboys led the Big 12 in scoring this year, just under 79 points a game. So far held to 23. 6 minutes and change left in the opening half. The defensive pressure, big story by Eastern Washington.
They spread the floor. Everybody handles, everybody passes.
Pariseau back to Bernard. Long 3. Got it!
Transfer from the University of Washington. They said, why'd you transfer? He said, I wanted to play on a team that could win a championship. And they did.
They marked this down. 5:47, tied at 23. The 2 against the 15.
Not very many threes in this game, but Bernard tees one up from deep. He's challenged on this shot too, and nothing but bottom. Good creation by Pariseau on the play. That's what you want.
Bernard, the best 3-point shooter for Eastern Washington at 45%. Cowboys underneath, overshoot the hoop, rebound underneath the bucket. Nice pursuit by McFarland. 3 buckets, 6 points.
You can feel the confidence building in this team. Look at the basket area. Nobody's there. Guys cut through, get out, then a single post. That's how you play.
Hey, nice bounce pass. Snow to Smith. 4 buckets, 8 points for the 6'10" senior.
Hasn't missed one yet.
Bobbitt, who's scoreless so far with 5:05 left. One of the transfers you mentioned, Bob, from Brigham Young. Tough pass inside, a whistle. Good feed of McFarland.
Keep your vision right here in the post. When he catches it, all the Oklahoma State defenders are on the perimeter, and as a result, he can use his body to protect the ball, uses the backboard nicely. When you get a guy that big, that close to the basket, who has some skill and there's no help defense, he's going to score or be fouled.
McFarland, 65%. Toes the line, the left-hander makes the first. We'll follow the game and CBS Sportsline's Game Center and get more than just the game. Get play-by-play coverage as it happens without having to refresh the page. Check it out at CBSSportsline.com.
McFarland, the leading rebounder for the Cowboys at 6.5 per game. Also their best defensive player on the interior.
Made the first, missed the second. Cowboys by 1. Merritt brings it across midcourt. Under 5 minutes of play. Eastern Washington getting it done with a variety of players. Merritt, Smith, Nelson.
Good patience on this possession.
10 on the shot clock. Axton pick it up around his ankles, fires, bounce, bounce, got it! First lead for Eastern Washington, 28-26. McFarland, left hand, nice shot. Lucas and McFarland share high point honors with 9 apiece. Back and forth we go.
Craig, there were so many close games yesterday in the tournament. 1- and 3-point games. Could this be another one?
Eddie Sutton up off the bench. Referees having a conference, and they'll give it to the Cowboys. Long range bounce, got it. 3:49 before half. Wow. A pair of 28s here in Kansas City. Let's go to Scott Kaplan with a report on Eastern Washington. Scotty?
Craig, after the first timeout, Ray Giacoletti told his team in the huddle, every 4 minutes we will get a timeout. We will get you a breather. That is what his strategy is, and right now it's keeping his team in the game with this very athletic Oklahoma State team.
Well, you got to play 4-minute intervals when you are the 15 seed playing the 2 seed. And when you think of it that way, it makes it less demanding.
Sounds like hockey strategy when you change lines. The only problem, you don't have that many players to go to.
But you still got to make shots, and you still got to play defense when you're in there. And they are doing both very, very well. Oklahoma State trying to pound it inside. They have taken fewer shots. And right here, good position defense in the post. Merritt takes the dive, gets the call. When you lower your shoulder, that's usually when that call is going to go for the defense.
9 turnovers now for Oklahoma State. Eastern Washington taking care of the ball with 5. Nice cut. Nice pass again inside, but this time stolen away.
Great anticipation by Allen. He came from nowhere to get that steal. Not much of a flow for Oklahoma State at this end of the floor.
Smith has caused problems in the lane. This time up and over was McFarland. He's in double digits with 11. Under 3 minutes left before the half. Cowboys by 2.
The aggressive nature of Oklahoma State coming out with the crowd with them. Good time for a backdoor for Eastern Washington. They're looking to set it up right here.
Shot clock down to 15. Merritt resets for Eastern Washington. Works it. Dumps it underneath the big fella. Up, got it. Boy, that was a tough pass in the lane.
Best game of the year for Smith. 5 for 5. Great hands. Big guy hanging tough.
10 points already this half. And here's a young man who averages 2.5 per game. Little acrobatic shot falls for Allen. 6 points for the senior from Chicago.
When you're the higher seed and the lower seed gets in this kind of position, the crowd usually goes with the underdog. Big boost for the Eagles. as Eastern Washington played so well. A lot of backdoor plays. The basket area is clear. Watch the roll on this Brandon Merritt to Smith play. Over the top, basket area clear. No help side, an easy one. And then another backdoor play from the wing. Merritt rubs off the high post, catches it. Nobody's home for easy points. The backdoor play very much in evidence for the Eagles in this one.
Points in the paint, Bob, even 18 apiece. Again inside, Smith got more. He is on fire. A dozen for Greg Smith.
Oh my goodness. Averages 2 points a game. He's got 12 in the first half.
Well, the folks in Cottage Grove, Oregon just must be beside themselves. State with the flush, and that was a statement by McFarland. Well, he has kept the Cowboys in this thing with 13. Lucas with 9.
It's a good thing there's a lot of Oklahoma State people in this sold-out arena because the rest of them are all rooting for the Eagles. I'm reminded a couple of years ago, Hampton beats Iowa State from the Big 12 in Boise. You actually called that game, Mr. Bowlerjack, and that was a phenomenal upset, and this smells like it to me.
Axton will toe the free throw line. McFarland picked up the foul, his first. In Kansas City, Kemper Arena, the 2 seed against the 15 seed in the East Rutherford bracket. Oklahoma State in a battle with Eastern Washington.
And the Eagles showing no fear, executing their backdoor cuts well. Smith has got 12 points on 6 for 6. He averages only 2 a game. The crowd is with the underdog, as in most sites there are. Fabulous, fabulous play. A lot to admire in Eastern Washington.
Lucas wants the long ball off the back of the iron. Eastern Washington, again, pushing tempo as they have from the opening tip.
They push it, and then when they don't have it, especially endgame situation, they use this high post offense. Notice under the basket, it is clear. All 5 players above the free throw line extended. That makes drives to the basket easy and cuts to the basket easy.
13 on the shot clock, 45 on the game clock. Winding down, Merritt leans in, tough shot, right hand. A whistle. Officials having a discussion. Make sure you stick around. Singular at the half. Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg, Seth Davis, all the scores, all the highlights, all the tournament news, plus Billy Packer's Singular one-on-one trivia challenge. That's coming up on Singular at the half. Possession remains with Eastern Washington. 7 on the shot. Try to force it inside. Turn it over. Ball on the deck. Picked up. Allen has it. Bobick helps him out in the backcourt. About a second and a half between shot and game clock.
It'll be interesting to see whether they just try to take the first good shot or they want to hold it for the end.
Lucas to Allen on the wing. Goes against Merritt.
First good shot. And it was a beauty.
Tony Allen with 8 points. Eastern Washington with 8 will play for the final shot. Merritt around Smith. Way off the mark. Fouled. Is it 2 or 3?
I think it is a 2. He was inside the line when he got fouled. Right here, high pick and roll, clearly inside. Allen gives him a shot on the elbow. Shot comes up way short, obvious foul. 3.5 to go. Merritt, an excellent free throw shooter, as you said before, 82% from the free throw line.
7 points for Merritt. 3 for 3 from the free throw line.
You think playing against Gonzaga and Washington and Iowa, teams like that, have helped these guys in this kind of a game? I do.
Let me remind you, too, this is the first time they've stepped on a floor in postseason tournament in the NCAA. Got the roll, 8 points. We're tied with 3.5 before the first half buzzer.
Oklahoma State will have the ball to start the second half as well. Plenty of time for Lucas to motor.
Around the back, midcourt, takes a long 3, missed it. Wow. In Kansas City, the 2 and the 15. 36 apiece. Let's go to New York. Buckle up, and here's Greg Gumbel.
All right, Craig, thank you. 36-36, the tie.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by Sierra Mist, IBM, the Hartford Mutual Funds, and by Pontiac.
Oklahoma State in a battle with Eastern Washington, 36 all at the half, moments away from the start of the second half here at Kemper Arena. Craig Bolerjack, Bob Wenzel. It'll be very interesting to see how the tempo, the endurance of Eastern Washington will hang in the next 20 minutes.
I think it's going to be interesting to see if Oklahoma State can hang with them. They've played remarkably well, confidently. Everything has been spectacular for them. They're executing their offense very well. They are just a joy to watch play. I'm glad I'm here watching this.
I'll agree. Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights. Plenty of them here in Kansas City.
No doubt about that. And I'll tell you, statistically speaking, field goal percentage, Oklahoma State a little bit better, but Eastern Washington took a few more shots. Three-pointers, not very much of a factor in this game. 2 and 1 for either team. The inside play is what's been spectacular. 22 points for Eastern Washington, what you would not expect. Matt Nelson, the starter, and Greg Smith, the sub, are 9 for 11 combined at the center position for Eastern Washington. And that, to me, is shocking.
Keep an eye on the first 4 to 5 minutes of this opening half. McFarland with the tip, and it drops to see how Eastern Washington will start this second half.
Oklahoma State started it properly, getting an inside basket where they have an advantage with McFarland. He's got 15 already. High post offense. Cutters, backdoors.
Merritt on the wing.
Look at the high post. Axton now comes out and sets the screen. Fades to the middle.
Nelson on the floor. Snow blocked away by Allen.
Great play by Allen. He was the one who made the pass on the last possession and comes up big with defense as well. Alvin Snow, player of the year in the Big West. Notice how Allen used his left hand to block that shot. It's closer to the ball than his right. Two starters have not scored for Oklahoma State. Joey Graham and Bobbick.
Allen around and out. Over the back, no call. Merritt has the rebound, brings it across midcourt. Nelson up high.
Good to see Nelson back in there. Hurt his shoulder in the first half. Only played 8 minutes. He was 3 for 5 during that time.
Nelson pops free to help out Merritt. 12 on the shot clock. Pariseau. Nice give and go. Snow before the shot.
Interchangeable parts on offense for Eastern Washington. Guards play inside. Post guys play outside. And look at this. Take a look at these assists. Usually there's one guy who has a lot, and then there's 4 guys who have a few. They've got 5 guys that have over 70 assists for the year. An excellent passing team, an unselfish team.
And Bob, of the 14 field goals made in that first half, 12 assisted.
And that's exactly right. And from different guys as well. You know, you think about confidence and how important it is for teams. They won 13 out of their last 15, and the 2 they lost were overtime games.
Inside to Joey Graham. That was very easy. That time down the court for Oklahoma State. We played 2 minutes. It's a 4-0 start for the Cowboys.
The inside dominance showing its head early in the second half. Poise required at this time of the game.
Crowd back in it. Snow, left hand, shot bounces off. Oklahoma State, here they come. Lucas across midcourt. Fires to the corner. Bobbick threw it away. Merritt with the tempo and the whistle. That's an interesting matchup with Lucas and Merritt. Brendan does not back off.
Not at all. Oklahoma in transition gets the ball inside very easily. Nobody home on this situation. And that is the first basket of the game for Joey Graham, who averages 12 a game and shoots 56% from the floor.
5 for 5 is Merritt from the line. Make sure you vote for your starting center on the Pontiac all-time tournament team. You can cast your ballot now at ncaasports.com/Pontiac.
Man, there were some good ones, huh?
Oh,
Ooh. I'm not going to color anybody's ballot with my thoughts on that particular subject.
Merritt stays perfect from the free throw line. He's in double digits with 10. Eastern Washington down 2. Inside pass, little floater up and in by Weatherspoon.
That's how you organize a break. Allen, normally the scorer, dishing it off nicely.
You know, those weren't boos you heard. Those are just Cowboy fans saying spoon. Loose ball, try to push it inside to Snow. Lucas. Weatherspoon, bounce, but the follow. The tip by Joey Graham.
The engines are burning. Lucas at the controls. The fast break. Back in town for the Cowboys.
Eddie Sutton got his Cowboys' attention, I guarantee, at the half. 17:01 remaining in Kansas City. Cowboys are motoring. Oklahoma State on an 8-2 run to start the second half.
It has been an absolute blur. Somebody's attention was gotten in the halftime locker room, I'll tell you that. Oklahoma State has come out running, scoring. It looks like they have 6 guys on defense, and they have been a wave on the backboards. 8-2, and they are jumping all over Eastern Washington here.
Nelson had the ball stripped on the bounce. Oklahoma State basketball.
Tony Allen has been everywhere in the second half. Defensively, offensively, stealing the basketball, passing the basketball. This stays in bounds. And a great hustle play by Washington. There's no give up in these players, believe me.
Allen with 3 steals in this game. Lucas pleads his case. Eastern Washington basketball. Axton will inbound to Merritt.
He's taking negotiation 101 at Oklahoma State, huh?
Axton. Oh, missed the easy deuce. Back the other way, Allen.
Oh, hanging. This guy makes difficult shots easy. What body control. Square to the basket off the dribble.
Biggest lead for Oklahoma State. Watch out, showtime. McFarland loops it up and in.
Difficult layup.
And a much-needed timeout. Eastern Washington huddles. They're down 10 just like that. A 12-2 run by Oklahoma State. Oh, so tight at the break. It was 36-all. And now Oklahoma State up 48-38.
And they have 5 steals already in this half. Witherspoon in for Bobbitt gives them a little more quickness on their perimeter defense. I'll tell you, watching this on television must be something, but up close, it is a blur. Oklahoma State all over it.
Cowboys by 10. Let's go courtside. Scott Kaplan.
Craig, thank you very much. You know, you talked about Brendan Merritt earlier and what a tough life he's had to lead, but he's dedicated his season to a good friend of his, Eric James Kropelnicki, who died in November mysteriously in the shower. November of 2003, he wears his initials on his armband and on his sneakers. Brendan Merritt's season dedicated to a lost friend.
Scott, thank you. Brendan playing his heart out here with 10 points. Perfect from the free throw line. But Eastern Washington needing to make a move if they've let the Cowboys sneak off on a 12-2 start here. Smith hard inside. And that's where the bread and butter was, Bob, in the first half. Smith with a dozen, 6 for 6, now 7 of 7.
4 times this year he has scored 6 points in a game. That is his top performances, those 4 games, until this one. He has been absolutely spectacular. Nelson got hurt early. He came in for him and has been fantastic inside, using his body well to protect the ball and size advantage.
Joey Graham the foul, his 3rd. Smith strong on the free throw.
He's had so many power moves, I didn't realize he was left-handed until he just took that shot. All power moves close to the hoop. 2-3 zone for the first time in this game.
Lucas sets the offense. Allen to McFarland. Double team. The strip defensively by Alvin Snow. Good job. Here comes Pariseau. Axton up high. Needs help. Boy, tough pass. Got it to Snow on the wing. And a lot of bodies around the lane.
Greg Smith is 6'10", 285. So one body underneath is a very strong one, and he gets hooked up in there. Usually that's going to go against the defense.
That was Terrence Crawford. Yep, number 42. Another timeout. 8-point lead for the Cowboys. Hey, Bob, let's take you around some of the tournament stories. Number 8 seeds are 3-0 against the 9s. How about McNamara on fire against BYU, 43 against the Cougars, the most in the tourney since '99. And Nevada picked up their first win, knocked off Izzo and company. Michigan State.
Michigan State out early, uncommon occurrence.
Lucas slows it down. Under 15 minutes left. Allen on the wing.
Well, I think this is a very good move right here. Zone defense, trap when the ball is in the corner. Very impressed with Ray Giacoletti's coaching in this game. This makes Oklahoma State take longer to shoot. They're on this big run. The momentum was against them, and now this has slowed them down.
Merritt, touchdown. Whoa! He knocked the ball away, and then the touchdown throw came from Bernard. Underneath, block, but a foul. Look at this, Bob. Very nicely done.
2-3 zone changes the passing lanes. This is a tough pass because they're both running in the same lane. Over the shoulder catch. Looks like Jerry Rice. Touchdown, Eastern Washington. Wow. That is a tough pass right there.
The foul goes against Greg Smith, his first.
I'll tell you, Craig, I can't tell you how important the change to the zone was. Second half started. Oklahoma State 6 for 8, everything inside. They were getting everything they wanted. Change in defense made them slow down and take 4 or 5 passes in order to get a shot. It's been very, very solid.
Bobick checks in for Eddie Sutton. Got the second. McFarland with 18 in this game, had 13 in the first half, along with 7 rebounds. 49-42, Oklahoma State, the 2 seed, with a tough battle on their hands against Eastern Washington, the 15th seed.
Pariseau's quickness, very important in this game. Lucas bothers most guys, not bothering Pariseau much at all. He equals Lucas in quickness.
Weatherspoon also in for Oklahoma State.
The good thing about zone right here also, it keeps your 6'10", 285-pound Smith close to the basket.
Bobick to Lucas. Weatherspoon puts it on the ground, up and in. Boy, nicely done again. McFarland with 20.
Well, it took them 3 possessions, but they attacked the zone better. But mission accomplished for the Eagles. 2 turnovers out of those possessions.
The lead is 9. Snow needs help. Axton around the wing. Pariseau for 3. Too strong. Weatherspoon climbs on that top rung for the rebound.
And you notice how they're not pushing it as much now that the zone is set up. Before they were transition. Now they're 5-on-5.
Lucas. Boy, quick as a cat. Gives it off to Bobick. Swings it down low. McFarland in the corner. Weatherspoon. Whistle before the shot. Bernard picks up the foul. McFarland goes out. Joey Graham in for Oklahoma State. 12:40, clock running.
Back to man-to-man.
Nothing down that baseline. Strong power move, bouncing around and in. Crawford with his first points for Oklahoma State.
Very difficult for Smith to battle all of the quick leapers on Oklahoma State's team. They are getting it inside at will.
Axton,
Count it. Great response. Oklahoma State again, zone and man, getting the ball inside. Here with a dribble and dish. Crawford his first basket, and he is a sub. But at the other end, instead of power, slashing. And Axton makes his and gets a chance at the free throw line. First team all Big Sky performer. 9 points in this game. Axton normally averages 13 a game.
Graham picks up his fourth. Opportunity for a three-point play. Axton eyes and hits.
Graham is on the bench with 4 fouls right here, going with a smaller lineup. Bobick, Weatherspoon, and Lucas in the game all at the same time. A small lineup for Oklahoma State right now.
Weatherspoon against Merritt. Lucas comes over to help out, spots up. Clean jumper.
Fundamental shot. On balance, great follow through.
Lucas with 11. He's 4 of 10 from the floor. Couple of free throws. Under 12 minutes to play.
It looked like Oklahoma State was going to take over this game, and the response by the Eagles has been fabulous. Sticking to it.
Axton short on the 3. Lucas, boy, the C's parted. Couldn't get the layup. I think he was surprised.
He was too open on that one.
Pariseau, bodies on the deck. Loose ball, Cowboys. Loose ball, Eagles.
Did you say Cowboys and Eagles? This looks a little like football right here. Guys on the floor. Love it.
Timeout in Kansas City. Oklahoma State up by 10. John Lucas Jr., the son of John Lucas III in the stands. I watched him, Bob, during halftime. All the Cowboy fans very quiet. Not much to say. A little looser now with the 10-point lead.
Well, his son doing great things at both ends of the floor. Quickness personified, leads the break. Very fundamentally sound shooter. Shoots 41% from three-point range and 88% from the foul line, just like his dad.
11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists for Lucas. Merritt brings it back up top for Eastern Washington. Oklahoma State and the Eagles tied at 36 at the half. Merritt missed a good look. Chased down by Bobick, stepped out of bounds.
Merritt sort of plays like a guy who is super athletic. I mean, he goes one-on-one, misses a shot, crashes the offensive boards. This kid has great intensity about his game.
Weatherspoon checks in. Bobick goes out for Oklahoma State.
I think Eddie Sutton's using Weatherspoon a lot in this game for Bobick because of his quickness. It's very difficult to guard this Princeton-ish kind of offense where it's spread out so far. Weatherspoon a little quicker at the defensive end. That's Oklahoma State's advantage.
Axton trying to look inside. Merritt wants the 3, short. That shot was there in the first half. It's really dried up.
Tony Glenn has to assert himself a little bit more offensively as they go along here. Ivan McFarland's been the main man inside, but a little of his dribble drives might be good.
Lucas missed the shot. Merritt again around the ball. Doesn't matter where he is. I don't care if he's 6'4" or not. Sometimes he thinks he's 6'9".
He plays like it. Nice high-low action here between Axton and Smith. And Smith draws the foul. Oddly enough, a size advantage with Smith. Alvin Snow missing in action today. The Big Sky Player of the Year. He has been the focus of the attention of the defense of Oklahoma State. And as a result, his teammates getting a lot of open looks.
Three-time All-Big Sky first team. Shut out to this point with 10:21 left.
Shut out, and they're within 10 against Oklahoma State.
Last time Snow was shut out, you got to go turn that calendar back when he was 18 as a freshman. Long time. Lucas on the cut, feeds inside, forced it. Nice save. Pariseau.
He is quick. Pariseau is 100 miles an hour at all times.
Loops it inside. Smith block. 28 on the shot. Eastern Washington basketball.
That's the first time Smith has taken a shot that he hasn't made right here. Long arms. Very much in evidence on that. That was a great loop pass also.
Third block by McFarland. Entry pass. Snow kicks. Axton on the drive. Inside. Again, tried to force it in. Turned it over. Smith not ready.
Not ready that time, but he's been ready the rest of the day. Ready and accounted for. A career game for Smith at the right time.
9.5 to play. Weatherspoon calls for it on the wing. 15 on the shot. Lucas.
Notice how McFarland doesn't want that jumper, right, Greg?
Yep. Lucas backs up. Little long, fresh clock, and an easy rebound for Tony Allen.
Well, think about it. I talked before about Allen not being involved at all. Hasn't had many touches lately. He can take his man one-on-one to the paint.
Bernard picks up the foul away from the ball. That'll be number 2 on Josh Bernard. Hit a 3 in the first half. Axton will go out along with Smith. Budarak will come in.
Budarak is shooting 81% from the field for the year. You think he's only dunking? I think so.
McCullough also checks in. No shot. I believe Snow is whistled. His third. Tonight on The Late Show, Dave's got audience show and tell, plus music from Christina Aguilera. Don't miss The Late Show with Dave tonight on CBS.
McFarland, a yeoman inside. Typical blue-collar guy, has been great in this game in the paint. Knows his role, doesn't try to shoot outside, has graduated, very mature player.
Good body up on Joey Graham. Eastern Washington pushing. Bernard wants the long ball, got it.
When do you shoot the 3? A good time is in transition. A next good time is when it goes inside to the outside. Bernard is the best three-point shooter on this team, second best in the league at 45%.
He's knocked down a pair, 6 points. 55-48. Eastern Washington, Bob, just hanging around.
Trying to buy some time now and rest starters. Substitutions in the game right now, trying to hold the fort.
Allen, again, before the shot.
And that is not a bad play. Tony Allen trying to get involved in the offense. 2 possessions in a row, he drives past Budarak and gets fouled before. So there's no bucket, and they only get to take the ball out of bounds. If you're going to foul Allen, foul him early. If you foul him when he's shooting, it's going down anyway. He's so strong.
Bobick back in for Eddie Sutton. Top of the key, swings it in the corner. Weatherspoon. Good double team baseline. Bobick wide open.
They need that badly. Only the second 3 of the day for Oklahoma State.
Bobick, 24 years of age, played at Brigham Young. He's married, has a child, Jackson.
That was McFarland on that block as well. What looked like a layup turns out to be a block. Good news for the Cowboys.
Bobick hits from way downtown, 58-48. We'll be back. Cowboys lead by 10, shooting 55% from the floor. McFarland with 20, Smith with 14 for Eastern Washington. You know, Bob, I want to talk about Ray Giacoletti. We had a great conversation with him yesterday. They started the season 3-9, told us mentally broke, absolutely mentally broke after that loss to Gonzaga, but went on to win 11 of their next 12. They won the Big Sky Conference tournament, beating Weber State and Northern Arizona, and here they are.
I'll tell you what, and of they're 13-2 in their last 15. The 2 losses to Weber State and Idaho State in overtime. So this is a confident group of guys playing out here. 62% the Cowboys are shooting in the second half. Only 25% for Eastern Washington. And that's why they are ahead by 10.
Each possession so important. Costly turnover with 7:25 remaining. And a 10-point Cowboy lead. Trying to build on it. Allen, Bobick, who hit a 3, squares, and got it inside the arc.
That was a tough shot. Bobick was taken out in favor of Weatherspoon for defensive purposes. When Sutton put him back in, Bobick showed he could guard some people and has given them an offensive lift. A 3 and then a 2.
Foul on Lucas. Away from the ball. Just off the low block. That will be his second. Nope, they're going to give it to Graham. So take it away from Lucas, and Graham picks up the 5th.
Well, Graham did not have one of his better days. One of the star players on this team, along with Lucas and Glenn, gets the most, Lucas and Allen, excuse me, gets the most publicity.
Graham leads with 4 points, Bob. 2 of 3. Had a rebound and an assist.
Terrence Crawford will replace him.
Budarak at the free throw line. Wednesday on CBS, Survivor is on a special night. What's gotten into the All-Stars that's making them so wacky? I want to know. Don't miss Survivor All-Stars on a special night Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on CBS. Of course, America's most watched network. Budarak makes them both. Budarak will go out, and Axton back in for Ray Giacoletti.
Well, Ray bought time right there, resting Axton for down the stretch. Budarak did a good job of holding things in place. The lead did not get extended.
10-point game, just under 7 minutes to play. The winner moves on to round 2 to take on Memphis, who won earlier today against South Carolina, 59-43. Boy, tough D down that baseline, but still Crawford able to cash in for 2.
Well, Allen has the strength when he goes inside. Even when he gets bumped, he can make plays. And that's why he was the Big 12 Player of the Year.
Allen the bucket. My oversight. 12 for Allen, 20 for McFarland, 11 for Lucas.
Well, you mentioned Memphis advancing. Terrific win over South Carolina. They will get the winner of this game. John Calipari's team winning after losing last year as a 7 seed. They win this year as a 7 seed, and Rodney Carney had a fabulous game.
Now, Eddie Sutton may want to look at some tape. 26 points, 10 rebounds. Career high in points and 3-point field goals. 6 of 12 for John Calipari. Of course, so much hoop coming up here on CBS. Tonight's lineup. Interesting to see how Mississippi State will go tonight. Florida A&M, Kentucky, Richmond, Wisconsin, and we'll get a chance to see Pacific take on Providence, the 12 versus the 5.
Of those 8 teams, which has the best band? Florida A&M, I guarantee you. I've seen them, baby. They are a show in and of themselves. Monmouth from the Northeast Conference won that championship. Dave Calloway and his group against Mississippi State, an overpowering team.
Well, Oklahoma State starting to overpower Eastern Washington. You know, the tanks were full in that first 20 minutes. Eastern Washington looks tired.
Yeah, they're getting tired. They're exerting themselves tremendously at the defensive end. Watch out.
Allen behind the back. Oh, whips it over to Lucas.
That's a good example right there of Allen's knowledge And Sutton's coaching did not take that shot. 1-on-3. Probably could have gotten a pretty good shot. Decided to wait.
Now he drives in, pulls up, hit it from the free throw line. Snow whistle for the foul.
He has the mid-range game that's so lacking. Uses the bounce to get to the paint, the strength to jump over his man, and the soft touch to finish it. What a sound player. 6'4", 210. This guy is a tremendous player.
16 points, 6 of 8.
So many times you see guys shooting a lot of threes or taking it all the way to the basket. He has the pull-up game as good as any as I've seen in college basketball.
Cowboys have really shaken loose from a tough Eastern Washington club.
Reminds me a little bit of the North Carolina game yesterday against Air Force, where Air Force hung tough for a long time.
Merritt for 3. Around and out. McFarland rebounds. Oklahoma State runs. Lucas across midcourt. Pulls it back out with under 5 minutes left.
Well, the interesting thing about this part of the game, Bowler, is that when this happens, Oklahoma State is very good, because now Eastern Washington has to chase, and they're going to get a lot of easy shots on dribble penetration.
Lucas drives, the tip wouldn't go, and a fresh shot clock.
Crawford, great job on that. Knowledgeable enough to get it back out.
And this Cowboy crowd on their feet applauding that. And now a timeout. 4:20. Down the stretch we go in Kansas City. Oklahoma State in charge.
I think the most important factor in this game, Oklahoma State overwhelming, but they were not like that in the first half.
You can get complete tournament coverage at CBSSportsLine.com. Now you can use that analogy, a tale of two halves, 36 all at the break. And Eastern Washington, nothing has fallen, inside or out. And they have a 14-point half with 4:10 remaining.
Oklahoma State's defense in the second half has been superb. Fast hands early. They created 5 turnovers in the first 2 minutes of the second half. And Ray Giacoletti told Scott Kaplan that the first 4 minutes were the most important, and they were. Unfortunately for him, they belonged to the Cowboys. Great year, however, and a lot of game to play yet in this one.
Crawford sinks both free throws.
Eastern Washington needs to get shots off quickly now. They don't have guys who go one-on-one much, but they can run their offense fast, and there's a good inside play right away.
Timeout, Oklahoma State. We'll keep it here with 3:57 remaining, and the Cowboys up by 69-50 count. Then known as Oklahoma A&M. They won back-to-back national championships, 1945, 1946. The Hall of Fame coach, Henry Iba. The Aggies went 58-6 over that 2-year span. And by the way, in both the tournaments, they started their run with 2 wins in Kansas City.
And there is Pistol Pete, the mascot of the Cowboys.
A little worried at halftime. It was 36 all. Merritt, after the timeout, goes down the paint for his 4th.
Oh, Jack almost turned it over.
.327 left, Kemper Arena, Kansas City. Oklahoma State coasting, 71-52.
Chase situation, not the best thing for Eastern Washington to do against Oklahoma State. Very much in control right now are the Cowboys. Trying to milk the clock.
Lucas with 8 on the shot clock.
Oh, that was a carry. He held that ball on his hip.
Oh, fought off a triple team. Got the ball back and popped to Jay. 15 for Lucas.
Merritt is the guy who can create his own shot.
Let's go back to...
I don't know about that, so he's been doing good. But I hate that they're going to have to play Memphis because Coach Calipari is a good friend of mine, and I really think that should be a very good game. Hopefully they can win this one.
All right, John, congratulations.
Coach Winslow, I still remember Duke University when he was a punk.
Back to you, Craig.
You got to
get him back.
You got a rebuttal?
Oh, I got to get him back. John, I have a better backhand than you.
John Lucas III, his line, 15 points. You saw 4 boards, 3 assists.
Interestingly enough, Dad could play offense and defense.
Miller rejecting from behind. Long 3 off the mark. Smith tried to crash the board. That leaves it out. Oklahoma State. Graham got it. Stephen Graham with his 3rd bucket, 6 points. 2 brothers, Joey and Stephen, both transferring out of Central Florida. How interesting. Twin brothers sharing time at Oklahoma State.
And they're into aviation. They're going to get their pilot's license.
Under a minute to go. Oklahoma State will face Memphis. That should be interesting for us on Sunday here in Kansas City.
No doubt about that. Memphis extremely athletic and fire from 3-point range. Oklahoma State good defensively and power the ball. Going to be a very interesting matchup. Good point guard matchup also. Lucas against Antonio Burks.
Lucas on the drive. Merritt got a piece of it. Eastern Washington, the final 30 seconds. A fine showing in their first NCAA tournament.
No doubt about that. You're right, Craig. They were very impressive in the first half. 36-36 at halftime against a team that many feel is going to challenge for the national championship. They ran their stuff, and they were tough on D.
Well, the Chevrolet players of the game. Greg Smith, 16 points. He was 8 of 10 from the floor. And Ivan McFarland, he went 20 and 10, his 20th career double-double. Jump ball the call, the possession arrow pointing to O State.
And the Chevy players of the game, one expected, McFarland, but Greg Smith very much unexpected, and a fabulous, fabulous game for that senior.
Here's the bracket. Oklahoma State, the 2, takes on the Memphis Tigers. Final seconds, and it's over. Oklahoma State wins 75-56 from Kansas.